Who will guarantee that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not cause trouble if Tinubu eventually releases him? I repeat, who will guarantee, who will stand as a guarantor and assure the federal government that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not cause trouble for Nigeria if he is eventually released? Now, U.S. military veterans are asking Southeast governors to meet Tinubu and demand Nnamdi Kanu's release before December 25th. I repeat, I know why I'm repeating this. U.S. military veterans of Igbo extraction are asking Southeast governors to demand for Nnamdi Kanu's release because we need peace in the Southeast. Now the question is being asked, who will guarantee that he will not go rogue? He will not cause more problems for Nigeria as a country. We know the kind of people that are asking such questions. Now, the priority of the Southeast is peace, number one. Priority of the Southeast is peace. Then you can have further conversations. Anything aside from releasing Nnamdi Kanu and ensuring peace in the Southeast, you don't need to be asking all those questions. Because now, who is being held responsible for the killings in the North? Are the northern politicians being held responsible for those bandits and lakurawa that is being created every now and then to cause insecurity? For those people that are causing wahala in Zamfara state? So somebody asking such a question has something in mind. They believe that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released, then the agitation for Biafra will take another dimension, another level. Remember the first time that I think it was 100 million naira that one of the senators, Abaribe, stood in for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was released, the report we got is that soldiers went to his house. After going to his house, I don't know what they were going to do there. They left with over 20-something people killed and Nnamdi Kanu escaping. What was their mission? Somebody stood in as a shorty and you gave him conditions, restrictions, that they will not hold meeting, this and that and that. He was released the first time. The shorty, Nigerian senators, they guaranteed. But the government itself did not guarantee that Nnamdi Kanu behaved himself. It was the government through the military that went and created more crisis. So this person asking this question that who will guarantee Nnamdi Kanu not causing more trouble for Nigeria? No, Nigeria causes trouble for itself. It is the Nigerian government and politicians that have vowed that the Southeast would not see peace or have peace. The more reasons why they are sponsoring some of the attacks and killings in the Southeast. I've said it before that there's nothing that will happen in the Southeast without the hand of a politician or a government official. How come now Simon Ekpa is incarcerated in Finland? No more. But you are hearing of kidnapping, you're hearing of harassment and killings. If you go online and see what is happening, the Nigerian police is trending. Somebody in Enugu State was kidnapped by the Nigerian police. They took him from a particular location to another location and took 1 million naira from him. That just happened yesterday. Another U.S. military veteran came into Nigeria. His name is Dolakbo. It is on social media, it's on Twitter. He had an encounter with the Nigerian police force. They almost pointed a gun at him, and somehow he had some altercation with them. But because he had some connections, according to him, he survived that confrontation with the police. If not, an ordinary Nigerian would not survive that incident. When they shoot you now, they'll say it's accidental discharge. Some of them, they know what they are doing. So the insecurity in the Southeast is created by the Nigerian system, the bad system. The institutions that have been corrupted are the ones that are creating insecurity anywhere you go. Go to the north. It is the politicians that are empowering these bandits and these terrorists. We have seen Masari, a governor, I think Katsina State governor, with this bandits brandishing AK-47, a governor with terrorists, and everybody is keeping quiet. We have seen politicians accused so many times. Even the bandits are calling out the names of the politician. The vice president, somebody was seen in his house eating. What is the connection? Somebody of that level, a governor, you saw Kabiru Sokoto in his house eating. And we understand the not. We understand how they run, how they roll. It is not an accident that Kabiru Sokoto is in VP Shetima's house eating. There are so many reports according to that. So the government is the one that needs to know what it's going to do after they release Nnamdi Kanu. The guy has come out and emphatically told you that if I come out of this detention or this incarceration, that I will make sure there's peace in the Southeast. So the person asking that question, who will stand as guarantor? He's saying that nobody wants to guarantee that Nnamdi Kanu will not cause more problems if he's being released. That no politician is willing to come and stand for Nnamdi Kanu. I don't think that will be the case. The case is, if Nnamdi Kanu is released, is the government happy? Would the government be happy that he is going to restore peace in the Southeast? That is the question. Understand what the man is asking, because these are insinuations. Because he said he has intel that Tinubu really wants to release Nnamdi Kanu, but the issue here is that who is going to guarantee that he will not go rogue, he will not scatter the whole country. That is what he is saying. But what I'm saying is that the federal government, there are some powers that don't want peace in the Southeast. What is most important for the Southeastern and Eastern now, what is most important is for the insecurity in the Southeast should disappear. That is what is most important. So where you are getting all those things from, whether it's going to... You see, one thing about Biafra is that Biafra has a template and it is going to come into play. It is something that will come into play whether you like it or not. Now, today or tomorrow. If you are afraid... Okay, I believe maybe the government is afraid that we're going to get Biafra. Why are they afraid? The government is also afraid that a peaceful and united Southeast will be one of the game changers in this current dispensation. A peaceful and united Southeast will be one of the game changers in this current dispensation. An average Southeasterner wants out of Nigeria. So, the insecurity, the instability in the Southeast is making it difficult for people to come and harness their potentials and bring in their investment and making the Southeast viable. So these government people know what they are doing. The insecurity in the Southeast, I've said it before, it is the politicians have a hand. 2 governors have said it. Those that are on ground, that know better, that will be sincere to tell you that this insecurity is being piloted by politicians. Not the Nnamdi Kanu or his boys that you are talking about. What ESN does, the government know, the military know, the police know what ESN does. Protect the farmlands that the Nigerian police force have not been able to achieve. So these young guys volunteer themselves because it is their ancestral lands. They will not be there, and some people, Fulani controlled system, will now be sabotaging and giving cover to their fellow Fulani killers. And you go into the farmlands and start killing people, and people should just fold their hands and not do anything. So the Nigerian police force has failed in that security aspect. These people volunteer themselves, and you are not happy that they are stopping these marauders that is going into the deep forest, taking over the forest, destroying farmlands, kidnapping and collecting ransom from people. It is the same Samanekwa that is incarcerated. Some persons were abducted in innocent company, innocent motors. Persons were abducted. I think they are demanding 150 million naira. Is it the boys of Samanekwa that did that one? I've told you about 2 instances that is going viral on Twitter, on social media now, about the police force. We no longer hear about armed robbers. Do you hear about armed robbers? We don't really hear about armed robbers. Now, what we hear about is police, police, and police. Police kidnap and extort. Police carry you, go do POS, collect 1 million, collect 2 million. I've said it before that people are not safe with police around them. Is that not ironical? People are even safe with armed robbers than with police. This young man called Dolapo, he narrated his experience with the Nigerian police, stopping him and trying to harass him, probably because he has a tattoo. They never knew that he had military experience. The typical Nigerian police. See, for those that are pretending that the Nigerian police is professional, an average Nigerian have the experience. I have experienced it with the Nigerian police. As somebody who has intuition, as somebody who studies psychology, I have experienced multiple times with the Nigerian police. Most times, I don't want to get an iPhone because, and I don't want to dress in a certain way because these police will be looking, they are looking for ways to extort you. They are just on the road to extort. They are not concerned about security. They're on the road to extort. Any day they don't see much money, they call it a bad day. They are praying that they meet people that they can extort. And so what is the prerequisite for you to be exposed to extortion? You look clean, you have a good phone, and somehow you dress ras, and maybe you look like a Yahoo boy. And they will call you down with the intention, not the intention for them to be able to investigate crime and make you stop crime. They are looking for ways. They are praying that they see Yahoo boys so that they can see monies to collect from them. Is that not a criminal-minded institution? Is that not? I've said it countless number of times that bail is free. Every single day, people are paying bail at the stations. They arrest you and they use style to extort your family. They put fear in you. That is one of the tactics the police is using. So if we say that the government has a hand, the insecurity going on in the Southeast, the government has a hand in it. It is not about you are afraid that if you release Nnamdi Kanu, he's going to go rogue, he's going to declare Biafra, this one and that. He said so that if he's going to come out, he's coming out with Biafra. And I've said it over and over again that Tinubu will not release Nnamdi Kanu because it is not in his best interest to release Nnamdi Kanu now. The reasons: he wants to use Nnamdi Kanu as a playing card for 2027 in case the Northerners want to run mad. In case the Northerners want to change Biafra totally, then he will unleash Nnamdi Kanu and activate Sunday Igboho. An Hausa man was asking a question. Why is it that Sunday Igboho is not behind bars, but Nnamdi Kanu is behind bars? Two of them want separate countries. They want the dissolution of Nigeria, which to the government is allegation of treason. So why is it that Nnamdi Kanu is behind bars and Sunday Igboho is walking freely? It tells you that the government has an agenda they want to achieve. And I'll repeat the agenda. I'll repeat it over and over again. This current construct, this current system doesn't want the Southeast to progress. That is why anything that will bring insecurity, they are in support of it. They can spend millions of dollars to make sure that the Southeast does not rise above what is being experienced now. People are afraid to go back home because you might be kidnapped. You are not afraid of any other person. You are not afraid of armed robbers, but you are afraid of the Nigerian police, an institution saddled with the responsibility of protecting you. This is the institution you are afraid of. That tells a lot. Many people have come out to say that the Nigerian police force is irredeemable. The systems created, the institutions created, the agencies created in Nigeria to pilot the development, the affairs, the sovereign state, they are corrupt, reading, and they are irredeemable. That is what people are saying here and there. And we have been making this mention. The more reasons why we are asking that why don't we change the system and go regional? every Igbo politician have been calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. These veterans, since 2021, Igbo military veterans, since 2021, they have been calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Yes. Governors, Ohanese, everybody is calling for the release. So, what more do you want? I've told you that those creating insecurity in the country, they have links with the government. The government is responsible for anything insecurity. When you talk about insecurity in Nigeria, look at the government. Abacha said it, 24 hours. The government has a hand in it. Any insecurity in the country for 24 hours or 48 hours, the government has a hand in it. And I know they are playing politics with what is happening to Nnamdi Kanu. Armed robbers are no more being reported. It is the police force that is now carrying out the crime. Now, the Inspector General of Police said that social media should not be used to expose the police, that they have a complaint section. They don't want people to see the police in bad light because international bodies, international people are watching. Why would the IG of police say such a thing? They know that the police have enough bad eggs to project the institution as irredeemable. They are good people. In every society, there must be good people. But the bad and corrupt system in the police force outweighs those that are good. In fact, if they don't take time, in the next 10 years, you really find, it will be by connection for you to see a good person in the Nigerian police force. And these are the people, both the army, these are the people deployed to the southeast. If it's happening to a Dolakpo in the southwest, a Dolakpo in the southwest, a Yoruba man in the southwest, come to talk of what happens in the southeast daily, what the southeasterners are going through daily, with the whole, when we are saying that these people are mounting roadblocks just to collect money, and when some guys get so angry that they go destroy those mounted roadblocks, some people will now be whipping sentiment. You see, Samanekwa boys and this. We have told that these roadblocks you are mounting has not stopped the insecurity. What is going to stop? We are proffering solution to the government. What is going to stop insecurity is the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But the government wants to do what he loves to do because they have an agenda. They have what they want to achieve in the southeast. Now, under Tinubu's government, we have the southwest progressing, doing all sorts of projects and everything. There's security. Until Hope Uzodinma happened to the southeast, APC especially, puts its leg in the southeast. That's when insecurity skyrocketed. The Nigerian state intentionally are making sure that they suppressed the southeast region. It's an intentional thing. This one is beyond Tinubu. It is what everybody has agreed. It seems there's a memo that is passed around. Don't make sure these people don't grow wings. Make sure these people are subdued. That is what they are doing. The more reasons why most of us are rising up to douse their propaganda. Whatever they are doing, we give it back to them. So many discussions about the Igbo. You see on Twitter, on social media, many people are saying so many things. So many handles are saying so many things about the Igbo. And I like the way the Igbo, they are rising to the occasion to counter all their propaganda like they did during the war. The Southwest had the media, and what they projected was what they wanted everybody to see. They had the media, they control the narrative. They tell people what to think about. They tell people what the truth is like. If not for social media, only God knows what would have happened. How the Southwest media will have been reporting the issues in Biafra. But because of social media, the game has changed. Look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk says that the people are now the news. The people are now the gatekeepers. No more the traditional or the legacy media. In the United States, people like MSNBC, CNN, and the likes are those that run a propaganda, a government propaganda. The government use them to control the narrative. A government that does not mean well for the people will use the traditional media, the legacy media, to control the narrative. Then, everybody ganged up against the Southeasterners. And they use the Southwest control media to control the narrative, make it look like the Igbos are the evil, while millions of people died in that war as a result of hunger and starvation. A genocide on the Igbo people. Yet, look at who the Igbo people are now. Look at how they have survived through the pains and throngs of war. So they still want to continue in that feat and make sure that they press down the Igbo man not to rise up and achieve its potential. The Igbo man has become an endangered species in Nigeria of today. The more reasons why we are calling for a separate state. We are asking that we go our separate ways. What is hard? Everybody has assured you, for peace to reign, don't you want peace in the Southeast? When they talk peace, when we say peace, what do we mean? And somebody is now afraid that Nnamdi Kanu is going to cause more trouble. The last time, who sent him out of the country? You sent military officers to go and do what in his house? And while they were leaving, almost 24, 25, 26 person died, which he had to flee for his life. Okay, he should have opened his hand and you just shoot him and kill him. Is that what you expect? I've asked this question countless number of times. If you encounter an army or a police pointing a gun at you, and the safety this thing is on, and you know that this guy is drunk and he can pull the trigger anytime, and you tell him, don't point that rifle at me, and he cocks it, what will you do? What would be your reaction? Would you just sit down and watch and they shoot you? Don't you have a right to defend yourself as a civilian? They call you bloody civilian. Don't you have a right to defend yourself? That is what Dolapo did. They wanted to point he shoved it aside. And some APC slaves and mofos, APC were saying, because you think you are from America, you think you can try this with American police. I know that these people are that is a mental institution. Some of these APC guys, the way they think, they are thinking like people that come out from a mental, oh God. Release Nnamdi Kanu now so that there will be peace in the Southeast. That is what we demand. And that's the assurance you need. You don't need any other thing, whether it's going to come out to get Biafra. Biafra is something that is a template that is moving on its own. Without Nnamdi Kanu, it is going to move on its own, and you see what will happen in few days, few weeks to come. Let me use this as few weeks to come. You think holding down Nnamdi Kanu will stop? It doesn't stop anything. It doesn't stop Biafra. In fact, I have said it before that this guy will not release Nnamdi Kanu. I've said it, and that does not stop Biafra. So we have told you that peace in the Southeast is releasing Nnamdi Kanu. If you want to do what you want to do, continuing what you want to do, we know your plan. We know that you don't want the Southeast to move on.